They'd waited desperately for news, but for many relatives, it only confirmed the worst. Police in Orlando have now officially identified many of the 49 victims. Among them, 23-year-old pharmacy technician Stanley Almodovar, who'd posted a video of himself dancing in the club just moments before he was killed. 37-year-old Kimberly Morris worked in the club as a bouncer. The youngest victim was 20-year-old dancer Louis Omar Acacio Capo. Friends of 34-year-old Edward Sotomayor say he died whilst trying to protect his partner.
He didn't prioritise himself over anybody. He tried to get his partner out. It's tragic and it's very sad, but we know that he sort of, I guess, died a hero.
The attack also left 53 people injured.
Our hearts go out to the families of those who've been killed. Our prayers go to those who've been wounded. This is a devastating attack on all Americans.
Look at that, just shooting back and forth.
More than 300 people were inside the Pulse nightclub when the gunman opened fire just after 2 o'clock on Sunday morning. You don't need to see to comprehend the level of violence. Shortly afterwards, the popular gay club posted a message on social media telling everyone to get out and keep running. Those who couldn't run had to be carried out. There was a standoff for 3 hours before armed police were able to get inside.
You're sitting there having a great time at a club, and then you hear what sounds like fireworks or balloons popping, and you assume it's part of the show. And then when you hear people start screaming and the sound doesn't stop and people start falling, you realize it's not a show anymore. And at that point, I realized I needed to get out.
Police used an armoured vehicle to blast their way into the nightclub, allowing many of the clubbers to escape.
We were able to rescue dozens and dozens of people that came out of that hole. The suspect came out of that hole himself, armed with a handgun and a long gun, engaged in a gun battle with officers where he was ultimately killed.
The gunman was 29-year-old Omar Mateen, who was shot dead by police after exchanging fire with more than 10 officers. President Obama has called the nightclub shooting an act of terror and of hate. They were simply enjoying a night out, but they are now the victims of the worst mass shooting in US history. And the people of Orlando are struggling to understand why and how this could have happened. Julian Drucker, 5 News, Orlando.